I've been feeling great on stage lately, man.
Me as well.
I've been feeling like more loose than I ever have since I started stand up. In in preparation for the show I have next month, I've been doing a lot of like tried and true bits. I'm going on stage without notes for the first time ever, where it's like I got a full just 5 in the back of my head. I've been like riffing a lot. I'm like, this is the most loose I've felt.
Good.
Doing stand up, and it feels good. I feel like I'm in a neat little pocket here.
What do you think changed?
I just think just doing it a lot.
Yeah.
I think just the repetition of the jokes and just getting so familiar with them. Cause like, you remember when you first started out? And you were like, what if I forget this part of the joke? And you'd have to write. I would literally fill out a full page of notes, and I would write like every single word of the joke. So if I got lost, I could like glance over and see where I was at. And then that evolved into just writing like a sentence, and then that I can just write like presidents, and then that I know that whole bit.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's like the next little step. After that is I can go on stage and do like a tight 8 minutes just off the top of my head, no notes. It's like the next little step. It doesn't seem like a lot of progress, but all those little steps put together lead to, I can just go up there, plug in 5 minutes and get off and be fine.
Yeah, and that's when you're working towards a show set, like a real show. You don't bring notes up on a show set.
Yeah,
we've never done that.
Nuh-uh.
And at first like the first few shows we did, like it felt a little weird because every open mic we bring our notes up, but getting more comfortable with not needing them is important.
And every show that I did, like before this, I put a lot of effort into I would sit down for like an hour and read through the jokes and blatantly memorize them, and it was like there was effort there, so that I could go on stage with no notes. And now it's just it's like effortless, especially with the bits I'm doing for the upcoming show. It's just, I don't know, it's this cool next tiny minute step towards something better that I'm feeling really good about, because I feel so loose up there, like looser than I've ever felt.
Yeah,
it's a great feel. I really feel like I've kind of broken through a little bit of a barrier.
Good.
And I'm like having fun up there again.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's it's going well.
That's good, man. Yeah, stand-up's good right now, man.
Things are good.
Things are pretty good.
Things are looking up.
Yeah, they really are. I have this show tomorrow night. That will have already happened by the time this comes out. But I've been getting a set together, and that has helped my stand-up so much, because I haven't had a show in a year. So I was just doing open mics for no reason, and I would have jokes that got really good but I had nowhere to put them. There was no use for them anywhere. So I just kind of shelved them and then worked on my new shit and then forgot about them or something. But when it was like, hey, you have a show in 4 weeks, it was like, oh, okay, let's fucking, what do we got? What are we working with? And then, I had a big problem with doing jokes more than 4 times because I got sick of them,
No one gets sick of your own jokes like you do.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll hear you do like killer bits, 3 weeks in a row, 5 mics a week, and then you go, it's fucking nothing. And you just ditch them.
Well, dude,
and you're like, in the trash.
Yeah.
Nah, this joke sucks.
I think it's because the most fun I have doing a joke is the figuring it out. Once it's done, I lose interest. It's the figuring it out that's fun. Like with anything I do, it's not. I don't want the thing. I want to figure out the thing. And I want to fucking have to go, if I want a fucking, I like hats. But they don't make a hat that I like, So I got to find a nice hat. Okay, let's look up some hats. So I got to do all this research on hats. And then, okay, no, here's the perfect hat. But they don't make this hat with a patch that I like. So now I got to find a patch. And then one guy has one on eBay in fucking Australia. I'll ship it this way. And then I get the shit and I sew it on, and then it's like, look, I got the hat. And then it's just like, whatever. I like fucking making the shit. And with a joke, it's like, I don't know, it's fun. And then when it's done, I'm like, I want to go back to a different joke and fucking figure that one out, I think.
Anytime I go into like kind of a period like that of like writer's block or whatever, I like looking at what I have and seeing if I can combine stuff. Because I realized recently I came up with 3 separate bits about like growing up in the South versus like living out in LA, and they're all different points, but now I can string them along into this one long bit that has like a through line instead of just going like, fucking planes are weird, right? And then jump into like I bought a gun, like, you know, that instead of just going sporadically all over the place, I can have a through line with like one connecting thread that runs across what used to be 3 different bits, and it turns it into this one long chunk. Yeah. And I'd never been able to do that before. But part of that's just because like you have to write new material long enough to where you have something to pick from.
Yep. Sometimes you'll have a joke that you forgot about, and then months will go by and you'll have this new premise that old joke perfectly fits into somehow.
The closer I used tonight, I wrote like going to Third Coast back in Nashville, and it was the same thing. I was just like, I've done this a billion times, fuck it. But I needed one more piece to that whole, like, you know, growing up in the South LA chunk, and I was like, I brought that one back. I was like, oh, that fits perfect, right as a neat little bow tie to the end of that kind of theme.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
It's crazy how that shit works, man.